So one of the things that I'm going to go through when we talking about pain points is nonprofits versus for-profits, kind of the roles and what's going on there as far as pay, as far as comparison, and just going on from there. So our first pain point that I want to go over is what we call compensation. All right. Sorry, I know my handwriting is not the best, but visually I just like to have something there. So when we talk about compensation, we'll just start talking about pay, all right? So if we're looking at a CEO, all right, we'll just talk about the for-profit sector first. If we're looking at a CEO of a for-profit, we're looking at starting at about 300K, all right, depending on the company. We'll go on that. And then along with that, our highest paying CEOs when it comes to charities is typically our medical charity sector. And right about there, so if we're looking at medical charities, you are looking at about 200K for max pay, all right? So that's kind of where we're looking. Sorry, let me move that over. So you're looking at 200K for your max pay. And then we're just gonna talk about our day-to-day charities, nothing medical field, whether that's, poverty, ending world hunger, anything around that. We're looking at about 80K, all right? So we have 80K for regular nonprofit CEO, all right? So, one of the reasons that we have it like this is just because of our society these days. Dan Pilata, he's somewhere where I got a lot of my material from. He just really puts it in perspective. But one of the things that he talks about is how, nobody's really leaving the for-profit sector because they can make way more money, all right? I mean, even as an employee for, a for-profit, you're not gonna be making 300K, but you should be at least making around 80K, am I right? So with that being said, nobody's gonna want to leave this for-profit sector over here. There's not a reason to. You're getting paid a lot to stay there. Whereas this nonprofit sector, especially if you're an employee, you're not making much. There's not an incentive. So one thing that Dan Pilata talks about is how he compares it, I think it was video games versus world hunger. Basically saying if you make like $1 million, like creating a video game and you're putting it out, nobody's gonna say anything, all right? That is, what they're taking home. But say if you're part of a charity, you're like looking to end world hunger, and you only take maybe 20% of the donations coming in and use it for yourself to put bread on the table, you're seen as a monster, all right? So that is one thing that we're trying to work on challenging. A lot of it comes from society, but basically, a point I'm trying to make is there's not a reason for a lot of people to be in the nonprofit sector when they're making this much money, all right? There's not a lot of compensation coming through there, and society looks down on people that are making money while helping other people. Isn't that interesting? So that is our first pain point, is compensation.